controversy has. You didn't know? You can say we are the in. Well,
acknowledge us.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Stadium Rant proudly presents to you the most electrifying wrestling show in the world. We are your hosts, the Ringside Boys, the Bake Show, Shake and Bake, the Nard Dog, Bernard Green, and the Professor, Nicholas Mullick. This is Ringside Rant. Gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about. Okay, Bad Blood happened. I wasn't here. I didn't even watch it live. I had to watch it back at like 2 a.m. after I was done casting, and then early the next morning, and it was just not. But I watched it. It was cool. It was fun. We'll get into every single match from that. My voice is a little hoarse from casting, so bear with me on that. We got some debuts, we got some ugly belts, we got some pretty belts. Well, we'll talk about what they are. We got show restrictions in time, and it's been pretty interesting if you ask me. Some health news that's unfortunate we will dive into, and if we got some time, we got a cool little bit of cross-branding esports WWE thing going on that we got news on today that I'd certainly like to mention. I wore an esports jersey just for the occasion. I was feeling fancy. But before we get into any of that, gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Survive another storm. Thank God of that.
Amen, brother.
I survived Helene, and I survived Milton. Um Other than that, I'm pretty good. Whoever that's further down southern Florida, I'm praying for you guys. Tampa, Miami area, Orlando, everybody. I hope y'all stay safe. I'll keep you on my prayers.
Yeah. Whoever's watching this right now and is down there and in the middle of Milton, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. Thank God, Bernard, you're good. We were nervous there for a second once the storm hit, and I found out there's like a bunch of tornadoes that hit there. But
like 20 something.
Yeah, it was like
not great.
Like a bunch there. Yeah. I mean, thank goodness you're all good, man. And anyone else who's out there, hope everything is good. But we got a wrestling show to talk about. Let's get into the news.
Amen, brother. So, hey, listen, Bad Blood, it was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it wasn't.
I had a good time. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I don't know what you expected. I thought like there were some things that were supposed to be cooler, but kind of flopped. I thought a couple things were, for the most part, pretty predictable. I mean, Bailey and Nia, I'm not going to lie to everybody in chat. I didn't even watch it. I decided to skip it. I'm not going to lie. Actually, I watched the last couple of minutes just to see if Tiffany Stratton cashed in. It didn't happen, but the drama built, so like that was cool. But the rest of the match, there was no point in watching. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was cool. Let's just go match for match, and there was a lot of people that agreed it was not very good. But kick off the show. What I think was a show stealer, I thought was one of the better Hell in a Cell matches we've seen in a long time. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. A lot of people pissed off it wasn't the main event. And I get why it wasn't in hindsight, but would everybody have been okay if this was the main event? Yeah, nobody really would have gave a shit except for The Rock. We'll get to that later. But CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, gentlemen, how do we feel about that match?
That match was insane. First of all, congratulations to CM Punk. It was bloody. They ain't lie about that. It was bloody. I think the spots in the match that were great. Was hoping I was hoping Drew McIntyre back was okay because the way he trying to attempt to do that Claymore on
Oh,
CM Punk, we was leaning on the steel steps. Oh my goodness. Um, like I
that
said,
tool
exciting.
shot. That tool
Yeah,
shot scared me too.
we covered on
Yeah,
the
I
two
mean, did you
box.
see the pictures of it? He got his head stapled because of it.
Oh my good. I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I know it was pretty bad. But great match by both. I just glad that this feud end. Now both could go their separate ways. Maybe CM Punk, maybe going after the World Heavyweight Championship in a matter of a couple of months. But I think he's taking a little time off.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, if I was CM Punk, I'd take time off too. But shout out Drew McIntyre. But shout out Drew McIntyre. Hey, both of them put on an insane match. I like the segment between him and Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins let it make really known and clear that, oh, I ain't forgot about you. So he said, yeah, get better. So that way when you come back, I can kick your ass and send you back home this time for good.
I
But
like that.
but I love that too. But insanely matched for them and all, and looking forward to the next chapter in both of their lives and careers and storylines.
Yeah, I mean, me and JC talked about it. We were both live. Shout out to JC in the chat. I saw him make a few messages. This match was the match of the night of the pay per view.
Yeah.
I kind of knew Punk was going to win the moment I heard Punk, not Punk, McIntyre lost a family member. I think it was his aunt who passed.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew they were going to give him some time off. And that Punk was going to win. But the one thing you guys didn't mention, and I liked the most, when the match ended, these guys were selling. Like they sold how brutal the match was, how out of shape, how exhausted they were. I mean, they used the oxygen mask, and hey, they put the oxygen mask right instead of an AEW when they put it on the ice or whatever they did with
Yeah.
Brian
Like
Danielson.
yeah. It, like,
That
not,
was so
not great.
stupid. But I like what they did after the match.
Yeah.
Because let's be real, Hell in a Cell has been a dead concept. And one of the goals Triple H is going to have long term is to rebuild that match stipulation. It's going to be hard to do it, but this is a step in the right direction.
So to that point, before I give my final take on the match, I think that's a really good point. I don't think it'll be that hard because I think the reason it lost all meaning is because Vince made it a yearly thing and you knew it was guaranteed every year. The minute Triple H got rid of that and it became a pop-up thing, I think instantly made it relevant again. And I think this match specifically launched that. This is officially it's a blood feud now. People will beat each other to a bloody pulp inside Hell in a Cell. It's not a thing we just do and put on a spectacle every year because we have to put it on. No, it's going to be a purposeful end of a feud. We put a lot of time and effort into how this is going to look, and that's how it needs to be.
Yeah, not only that, but Hell in a Cell got ruined when Brock, I think it was invaded Roman versus Braun, and that made it into a no contest. It was stupid. And that disgraceful Fiend versus Seth Rollins match, which is the worst booking decision Vince McMahon ever made. It's up there, but I think it's number 2 or number 3 for me. Number 1 is Goldberg defeating the Fiend. Oh, we'll get to Mr. Goldberg later. But
yeah,
point is, they still got a lot to go to rebuild the match. It's just not a quick fix. But I did like, and you said it, that they are getting rid of the yearly
Pay-per-view
stipulation, the pay-per-view. Those need to go ASAP. I mean, that's why we don't see I don't know if we're going to get a TLC pay-per-view. I really don't think that we're going to get that.
I hope not.
No,
I hope it's just a random thing where it's like a smaller city and you're trying to draw a crowd. Fuck it, TLC match.
Or
TLC,
or it returns to WrestleMania. I would love that.
I don't think they'll do it because, well, I don't know about TLC. TLC would be phenomenal, yes. But I was also thinking about people are talking about Money in the Bank going back to WrestleMania. I think it would be great, but I also think the fact that it sells so well and now like the briefcase is its own piece of merch and you can individualize it to the city every year so people want to buy a different briefcase every year.
Not only that,
it's
but
a no-brainer.
WWE has been pushing Money in the Bank more than Survivor Series has the past decade. In fact, Vince almost got rid of Survivor Series in 2010.
Yeah, if it
That's a
weren't for
fun
War
fact.
Games, it probably would be gone.
Probably, yes, but Money in the Bank is now the big four. Survivor Series is the big five, but Money in the Bank is now the big four. So I doubt we see that at WrestleMania, which is why I think the TLC would make more sense to put it there.
That would be sick.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you one match that went, how Hell in a Cell was the peak. I'll tell you what was down in the gutter, down in the abyss, down in the hot inner core of the earth of garbage.
Nia versus Bailey, right?
What a disgrace this match was. First off, this should not have been on the pay-per-view. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like that, and Balor and Priest should not have been on the pay-per-view. I like the fact that they got 5 matches on pay-per-views, but don't put random matches on there. Don't put matches that, why couldn't we have gotten Gunther versus Sami Zayn on this pay-per-view? Why couldn't we have gotten, I don't know, Jey Uso defending the IC title on this? I'd rather see that. I'd rather see
LA Knight.
LA Knight on the pay-per-view. Heck, I'd rather see Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair in a match instead of wasting their time hosting the show, even though those titles should be burnt and destroyed. And
they're forcing Carmelo Hayes and Andrade down her throat again. Why not put that final match
and that match is phenomenal. Honestly, it's it's one of the best of 7 series matches I've seen in a long time. Probably since Cesaro versus Sheamus, but really, really good. But point is, Nia Jax and Bailey, I mean,
not
it's
bad.
The botches that were happening in this match. Nia Jax sucks. She's
bad.
When Bailey did the suicide dive out of the ring, she didn't even catch her. She landed on the ring. And then when they did that, power bomb spot or whatever, Nia Jax hit her head on the damn ropes and during the Hurricane Rana. Like, what?
I see that.
I actually did see the Nia Kinrana, and when I saw that, I'm like, there ain't no way they just made her do that on TV, bro.
She can't even hit a clothesline right. She can't even hit a clothesline.
There and thought, oh my God, Nia, you look so athletic. They set her up to fail by allowing her to do that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's like the Big Show trying to do a Hurricane Rana respectfully.
And I hated when they had Nia Jax on the ground and Tiffany Stratton came in to cash in or help her out. And they gave her the Undertaker sit-up spot. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was like, you?
Are you kidding me?
That turned me off as well. Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
Get this title off of Nia Jax. I don't want to see her on another pay-per-view again. In fact, I'll be fine if they have her Tiffany Stratton cashes in on SmackDown. I don't want to see her on pay-per-view again. Get her off my TV. In fact, send her down to NXT. I don't want to see her on the main roster. Get her out.
Okay, on that note, I got a theory on how that can happen. Hear me out, and maybe y'all agree with me. So, Crown Jewel's coming up. And by me bringing up Crown Jewel, Shake, Bake, Nicholas, the Mels are bringing this segment of the new Crown Jewel Championship, where both respective men and women's world and WWE heavyweight champions, they're gonna they're gonna come to Saudi Arabia and they're gonna crown the best of the best champions in WWE. Now here's how that works. Now WWE don't like to do too much of heel versus heel, face versus face, all that crap. Okay, I get that, but I think you should switch it up a little bit as well. Besides that, so this has to happen in order to get the title off Nia Jax. One, it could be maybe a SmackDown or two, maybe in the next couple of weeks or a few weeks. Tiffany Stratton is just completely, got tired of Nia Jax's shit, and somehow she turns on her, hit her with the briefcase a couple of times. If she happened to be in the match or in the segment, have Tiffany Stratton cash in on one of those SmackDown episodes. Then once we do that, then that's when we'll have Tiffany Stratton. She'd be turn face and all. She'd be a newly faced women's champion versus Liv Morgan, and I think that they should set that up. But according to the poster, they got the official poster. They advertising it as if it's going to be Liv versus Nia, and if that is true, yeah. But if that is true, I say this: have Liv Morgan win that match. I feel that Nia doesn't need a match, and I think all three of us can agree to that because Nia already won Queen of the Ring. She already won she already got the championship. So really, there's nothing really say she's the best. Because like you say, Nicholas and Shake Bake, Nia Jax suck Dookie, and
She's Dookie in the ring.
yeah,
And I don't want to see her. I don't want to see her versus like I like Liv Morgan. She's getting better in the ring, but she's not gonna to the ability of carrying somebody. Like I think Bailey is close to that point, even though she's getting boring now. Why couldn't they have made this a triple threat match and added Naomi to it? I don't understand why we got to see her versus Nia again. Like why?
But so back to the crown jewel thing.
Mhm.
I don't see why. I agree with Bernard. I don't see why. Hey, no, but okay, dude. Bailey certainly did
with
try.
the quote of the night.
I don't see how you could put it on Nia. She's not the most over. Liv is not the best technical female wrestler in the world. We can all agree on that. But she's certainly very over right now. And she is the better wrestler out of the two of them as well. So you're more over and you're the better champ and you're the better wrestler. I don't know. I don't know. Unless like I would like to see Nia lose and then Tiffany cash in, and it's just like this horrible like avalanche of shit for Nia. That would be phenomenal booking. Triple H, please. But yeah, I think Liv Morgan should get the belt. I think it would be so obnoxious for her to win that, and I think it would be great for her character.
Yeah, and then plus you got Raquel in the mix too, so add that too. So let's just say Raquel in the mix, and she happened her beat Nia at Crown Jewel to become the best of the best champions in WWE. Like you said, have Tiffany Stratton come in and cash in, and she becomes new WWE champion. Like you said, have Nia just basically lose everything because I can't take another of this shit, man. And then plus her promos, oh my goodness,
her promos are awful. She's the worst promo cutter that I've seen since probably Ricochet when he was cutting a promo against Brock Lesnar. That was Dookie. This was Dookie.
Oh.
I'll tell you one thing. Bernard, you called it with Raquel Rodriguez. Thank God she's back on television because I was a big fan of her. I'm still a big fan of her. Go on our TikTok. You could see my reaction to Raquel returning and another return we'll get to later. But I would love to see Raquel Rodriguez get involved in that match. But I'll say one thing, and we didn't mention this, that title looks sick. That Crown Jewel title looks really good.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. I wonder if the women are going to get like a smaller version on a white strap or if it's like just
That's a good question.
It's like a trophy. It's also not something they're going to be carrying around or having on TV. They're just going to get it as like a trophy.
I heard it's going to be a yearly thing that they're going to have.
Yeah, so it's not going to carry any relevance except for the yearly at this Crown Jewel event during I think it's Riyadh season.
Yeah.
It will be the men's world champ versus the men's WWE, women's world versus women's WWE.
Yeah.
For the belt.
Yeah. Which I'm excited to see Cody versus Gunther at that show. Both are
That's
great.
Gonna be great. You remember when they squared off at the Rumble and everybody was elevated?
Great. Yeah, that was great.
So good.
I mean, if it were me picking who wins that match, I would pick Gunther to win it. But would it shock me if they just give Cody the win and strengthen him against whenever he faces The Rock?
I wouldn't be shocked either.
I wouldn't be shocked, but yeah, that showed up. But by the way, when they first had that title in the ring, I thought they were going to reveal the women's mid-card titles.
That's a lot of people were hoping
that, but this was a surprise. That and the number of people they announced in the attendance. So, see, Tony Khan, this is how you do a special announcement instead of weekly giving us just attendance bollocks numbers. But
he's a dub jackass anyway.
No, he's
moving
not.
on to the next. Moving on to the next match, Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. I liked it. I thought it was fun. I do agree with did it need to be a pay-per-view match? No, probably not. Would I have preferred to see Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso? Yeah, even if Braun ended up losing again and then like kind of goes towards Gunther, which he's already kind of made that contact. I think it would be a little early in my opinion, but fuck it, whatever. But yeah, I would have liked to see something else that wasn't really the point of the conversation. I would have liked to see something else better here, but I thought for what it was pretty good. Obviously, Judgment Day was going to get involved. I like how it all went down, honestly, and I like that Damian Priest was able to do his own thing and came out with the dub. I thought that was really important for him.
I got one word for this match, and it's disappointing. I did not think that Damian Priest would win that match. But my thing here now is, where the heck do you go from here with Finn Balor? I mean, I hate the fact that he used the coup de grace like 6 times on his neck, on his back, and Damian Priest no-sold it. I'm like, come on. I thought you guys were going to protect finishers, but I like that. I guess Priest winning gets him to move on from this, because I'm sorry, I don't want to see another match between these two again.
Yeah.
I just don't know where you go from here with Finn Balor or Damian Priest.
Damian Priest, I mean, world title again, probably lose, and then try to find him a meaningful solo feud.
I got an idea too. I think him and R-Truth as a tag team would be really interesting.
Especially right now, I think R-Truth and Damian Priest, just for him to like not take time off, but be in a less serious, let him just have some fun when he's out there kind of thing.
And who are the Raw tag titles? I can't remember who the
It's
Raw
still
tag
Judgment Day.
are. It's still Judgment Day, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I have Damian Priest and R-Truth going after the Judgment Day's tag titles.
Dude, yeah, give me that.
Yeah.
Bernard, what did you think of the match?
I think like I said, it's a phenomenal match. I thought Finn was gonna win too, but I wasn't mad that Damian got to pick up the win. And like I said, I think it should move off from this. Now, what Finn should go after this in case, like you said, in case that doesn't happen, him and R-Truth team up and go after tag titles with Judgment Day. Put Wyatt 6 against the Judgment Day. Do it, Triple H, do it. Because
they're not doing it now.
I'll rise for the truth. Yeah, JC, but here's the thing.
Put it on a shirt.
But here's the thing, though. Judgment, like, what does Judgment Day have to do after this? I mean, I'm pretty sure Liv Morgan and Raquel and Liv, they're gonna go to in the next chapter of their storyline. I just worry about like I said, Finn, Carlito, and JD McDonough. It's like, if you guys have nothing to do, then like I said, put them in Y6 in a storyline.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, at least to the Royal Rumble. At least to the Royal Rumble. So that's what they should do. But
we're such geniuses, dude. We just booked out probably like 5 months worth of storylines here.
Exactly.
Speaking of the Wyatt Six, I know we're getting off topic here. Really? You're gonna have them go after the Dead Final Testament group with the Miz added to it? Like,
so
the Miz, come on. Like, I don't want to see that. And look, I love Karrion Kross and Scarlett. AOP's terrible. I'm done with them. And the Miz, I like that they turned him heel, but I don't want him attached to this dead group. They got to do better with the Wyatt Six. I don't want to see this feud. So yeah, like I said, have the Wyatt Six eventually go after the tag team titles. Have, Judgment Day lose the tag team titles to Priest and R-Truth. Wyatt Six goes after the Judgment Day. And then after that, you have them go against Damian and R-Truth. That's how I would do it.
That'd be cool. It'll be interesting to see where all of that goes. But we talk a little bit about the Women's World Championship match, which, good match. The finish was a little messed up. Yeah, not great.
Did they drink the special alcoholic Nia Jax botch drink? Like, what were they doing there?
Yeah, that was apparently Raquel's fault, and the referee was like, well, what the
I
hell?
I think it was the ref's fault because he was in the wrong position at the wrong time. I think he was supposed to go try to save Dominic, try to push him back up into the cage to safety, and then Raquel was supposed to attack Rhea after she got a bunch of shots in. But yeah, I don't know what happened at the end there. We'll probably never know unless an interview takes place of what happened. Probably with Chris Van Vliet because Chris Van Vliet is great. But yeah, in my opinion, the return, I love the return because I love Raquel Rodriguez or Gonzalez. I hope they go back to Raquel Gonzalez because that was her
Yeah.
original name in NXT. And I hate that Vince changed it from Gonzalez to Rodriguez. And the reason why was because Raquel, there's like a close attachment to the Gonzalez name than the Rodriguez name. It just was weird that they changed it. But the match, it was kind of boring. It really was. Like, it was kind of the same copy and paste from their was a Bash in Berlin match. And
And SummerSlam.
I'm sorry, that shark cage looked ridiculous. It looked ridiculous. And
I like the falling out spot. That was funny.
dude, it was obvious he was going to fall out because me and JC saw the chain that was wrapped around it, or like at the bottom of the thing. I'm like, come on, you guys can do better than that. And I think Dominic also botched the toilet paper because he was trying to throw that toilet paper through the cage in the ring, but he dropped it. I'm like, oh my god, no. Yeah, this was another botch fest. I wouldn't say it's disappointment because I was happy that Raquel came back, and that saved the match for me. The ending was botched, but could have been worse. Could have been Nia Jax all over again. But this was Nia Jax light. So
I didn't like the match. I
I
didn't.
didn't. I didn't. I didn't love it either. It's the return that saved me.
Yeah, the return. Yeah, I already knew that was a shocker because I mean, Raquel's name was coming up inside the articles and letters and all for quite some time. I said, okay, yeah, she's coming back. But
You
overall, the
called it,
match
dude. You should take credit for it. You should get that all over
exactly.
social
Yep.
media. You had
Which
your
I was
You had your Smitty moment.
You're right. I should have done it too. I should have done it. But I'm taking credit now. I told y'all so it's gonna happen. Just Liv and Raquel, well, not really Liv and Raquel. I mean Liv and Rhea. It's like all the scene is just well, Liv just a bunch of running, and Rhea she just been beating the hell out of Liv Morgan. But something caught my eye on Twitter, aka X. And y'all kind of will agree with me on this. Someone said, and what y'all been thinking too, but they worded better. It seems like WWE doesn't trust Liv Morgan to win matches on her own
I
because
agree.
right, because it's like Liv is it's like she don't get me wrong, she's getting better, but it's like being that she's champion, it's like WWE. I see that too. Like every match that she's in, either Dominic or Judgment Day, or now Raquel. Which, by the way, welcome back, Raquel. It seems like they don't trust her to win matches on her own, or to have Liv carry more weight to in the matches. And I think if that's the case, then what's the point of putting the title on Liv Morgan in the first place? I don't know. I could be wrong. Y'all thoughts?
I gotta be honest with you. If you think she's not bad, her and the Riot Squad was bad. That was just. If comparing that from her to now, she's 1,000 times better. She's not Maxine Dupree level of terrible, but
No, no.
let me just say one thing. Well, two things about Liv Morgan. First, I kind of like that new home wrecker move she's been doing lately. And the name's great because she is a home wrecker and harasser. But uh, but point is, she's getting better. I do think that her getting the title on her, they had to because she was getting over with some of the fans. I mean, not with me. I hated what they were doing with her and Dominic before the turn happened, but she was getting over with fans. And strike while the iron is hot. That's why Jey Uso is champion now. And that's sort of kind of what they did with Liv Morgan. So I don't fault them for putting the title on her. But yeah, it's obvious that they don't 1,000% trust her yet. Compared to her Riot Squad days, she's a lot better than what she was. But yeah, I can see what you're saying, Bernard. I really can.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it wasn't a great match, and I kind of agree in the fact that maybe they don't trust her to win matches on their own because I think people would have a hard time believing it, especially against someone like Rhea Ripley. Like we haven't seen Liv get to that level. And I think she needs to drop the title eventually and then build herself back up and actually win and beat some and gradually beat some bigger opponents, have another good Royal Rumble run and do stuff like that throughout.
which
And
is
maybe
why
I could see her being a Miss Money in the Bank at some point. I don't see her winning another world championship straight up, but I could see her winning another Money in the Bank in a few years.
But here, this is like Liv Morgan's better, but this is why Tiffany needs to get that belt instead of Nia Jax because she stinks in the ring, and I don't think they're gonna have a good match at all. Like Nia Jax is terrible, and Liv Morgan isn't like at the ability that she could carry someone to a great match yet, which is why
Let's do so with like Nia.
which is why Tiffany needs to cash in, get that belt, and Tiffany Stratton's great for
Yeah,
how young she is and how great she is in the ring. And she has one of the best moonsaults I've seen in a while. Her moonsault's great. Charlotte Flair.
Better than
take
EO.
lessons.
She's better than EO too.
I mean, EOS is good. I mean, you could that. I'll put that in the argument section. I still think Tiffany's is better, especially with how she sets it up. Like I could barely do that, and that's just me going on a weight, a scale, during when I hurt my knee one time. I could barely do that. But point is, I mean, Liv Morgan's getting there. It's just like I don't know, man. But yeah, Raquel, this is going to do more favors for Raquel than it's going to do for Liv Morgan. And I love the fact they paired them together because I think they were a tag team at one point.
They were. They mentioned
yeah.
that on the show.
I mean, nobody remembers because the division's garbage, but still,
it's good.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Anyway,
Jesus
to
Christ.
the main event of the evening. The undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns defeated the punk-ass Bloodline 2.0. Pretty much how we thought it was going to go, with a little bit of a twist. The backup quarterback called audible loose. He called the play. He came and he saved Roman after the match. It was after, and they won. They got the dub, and then all of a sudden, out of the darkness emerges the final boss. The Rock shows up again. I said he was going to show up because of what he tweeted about CM Punk. That tweet was a burner account, and I got really fucking hard on that.
You forgot about the other return. You forgot about the other return.
Jimmy Uso.
Jimmy Uso returned.
Didn't I say that?
I don't think he did it, unless I'm going
But
crazy.
he mentioned it. He didn't call his name, but he didn't mention Jimmy Uso. He did.
Yes. Jimmy came back. Oh, I didn't say his name. You're right. I said
yeah. Sorry. Well, this is going to make the final cut.
And then Jimmy Uso, he came back. They won, and The Rock came back. He was saying 1, 2, 3. I don't necessarily know if that was referring to Roman and Cody's third match or if it was relating to a triple threat between the three of them. I don't really know, but The Rock seemed pissed off that Roman was ever even helping Cody out in the first place after what happened headed into WrestleMania 40 with all the family disrespect with like Cody, like to be honest. Wasn't that disrespectful, but it's storylines. I get it, but it's juicy, man.
Remember when The Rock last spoke to Cody and he's like, "Don't ever break my heart again"? We just saw The Rock's heart break. Right there. One.
But by Roman.
2, yeah, by Roman, but still, Cody was involved with that. What I think is the 1, the 2, and the 3 means they've all betrayed and cut off. That's what I think.
Strikes, maybe.
Yes, that's what I think. I think it's going to eventually be New Bloodline versus OG Bloodline, but I don't even know if Jey Uso will be involved because I don't.
Well, there's been social media stuff with that, okay? And I spend too much time on social media. Okay.
Jesus.
So The Rock, like he did his like off-camera promo thing. Someone on WWE recorded him, and he was talking about all of it. He's like, it may lead to a civil war within the bloodline. He said those words. So that is happening. Civil war is going to happen at War Games, and that is going to happen. And then Jey Uso also tweeted something or posted on Instagram or something saying that like the bloodline gonna be all right. Like families fight, we'll figure it out. Like, and I think he's talking about Jimmy coming back and him gonna go help Jimmy and Roman against the new bloodline, and then I don't know who the hell else is gonna help them. Cody Rhodes will probably be involved again, and then The Rock is gonna have the new bloodline.
I think I think Paul Heyman needs to be
He
back
will
at
come
that point.
back, yeah.
I got two options of who could help represent them on both sides. I think Hikuleu is going to be representing on the Tongan side with Jacob and The Rock, and Solo's going to join over to their side. It's I got to be honest, I'm done with Solo. I really am done with him with Bloodline 2.0. I hope the Tongans and Jacob Fatu betray him, and Solo goes back to Roman and The Rock. I can't with those two. And that match again proved it. Like, and I'm sorry, I like Jacob Fatu, but man, was that like it was kind of disappointing. He didn't really wow that much, and maybe it's because he had
purposeful.
yeah, I think it was purposeful because Solo Sikoa is there, and of course Solo takes the pin. I mean, this dude takes so many pins, you think he's a bowling ball, but
Doesn't even matter, dude. Like, yeah, to the Jacob Fatu point, and what I mean by that is I think they're trying to save what he actually can do because I don't think they want him to go full blow yet. I really don't. I think they want to have him hold back and then gradually just become this monster more and more over time and just eventually become everything they wanted Umaga to be, probably a world champion at some point.
I really wish Umaga was still around.
Yeah.
And you know who I think would be cool to represent the Rock side too as a manager if you want to do a manager versus manager side?
Armando.
Armando Estrada would be really cool
Legends
there.
deal.
Yeah, he's not the only one that signed a WWE Legends deal.
There's been a few lately, yeah.
Jesse Ventura is officially on a Legends deal. And I'm asking you, WWE, please have this man commentate a match during Saturday night's main event. I would love that. He commentated on the old ones. I want to see him commentate a match at Nassau Coliseum, please.
Isn't he hosting it?
I don't know if he is. If he is, that would be great. I hope he talks about how he's living in the Baja right now, you know?
I think he's supposed to be involved in it for sure. I don't know to what capacity, but I'm pretty sure he is involved.
My advice, don't bring Hulk Hogan there. Jesse don't like Hulk. Don't bring Hulk Hogan there.
Yeah, I don't think many people want to see Hulk Hogan at the moment, but
No.
We talked about that for 2 weeks. So actually, we've talked about that for 2 months. Okay. Anyway, yeah, the Bloodline story is really interesting. That's all going to come to a head at War Games. Going to be interesting to see how all of that goes down.
How do you rate the pay-per-view? How do you rate the pay-per-view? I already did
out of 10.
Rating. Out of 5 because we did out of 5 normally.
Right, out of 5, right? Yeah. 3.
Damn, that's low. Damn.
That's
low.
too high. That's too high.
That's average. That's average.
Yeah,
that's a little more than half.
I gave it a 2.25. That's just me.
Damn.
The only thing I gave there were 5 matches on the show, so I gave a point to Hell in a Cell. I gave a point for the last match because of the returns, and I gave a 0.25 points for Raquel returning. I had to dock off a point of it because they botched the ending of that, but I gave it a 2.25 out of 5.
Yeah, I mean, I get a solid.
Not a good show. Not a great show.
Damn.
What about you, Bernard?
I'd give it. Let's see. To be honest with you, I'm gonna give it about a 3.5 maybe. I would go full, but the only thing that was good was Raquel, Jimmy, Rock. Well, hey, no Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre. But see, I guess we have different type grading system, but I give it okay. My finance, I give it a 3.
That's
I
fair.
I I give it a 3. Um, I think
I think the
yeah,
Hell in a Cell match was so good it bumped up the score. Had that been
right,
just like the average run of the mill bullshit Hell in a Cell we've been getting, I think I'd be more in Nicholas's neighborhood with the 225 I think the Hell in a Cell really saved this pay-per-view from being like a complete letdown out besides returns. Like
right,
SummerSlam was that year we had like Bailey, EO. Besides returns, that SummerSlam was not good. That was
Yeah,
the
hey,
poo-poo job on Bianca.
that
That was not
SummerSlam was
good.
not good. Bash at Berlin wasn't great either.
No. No,
I
that was actually really bad. I remember watching or thinking about it during our watch party, and I was like, we are not talking about these matches at all. And like, I
yes,
thought about it, and I was like, I wanted to be upset and be like, guys, we got to talk about the matches. And then I was thinking about it. I was like, why the fuck would we talk about the match? They
it
were
was so
so
boring.
bad.
Like
Yeah.
I'd rather watch this pay-per-view than that
Yeah.
pay-per-view. And
The next one
there,
should be good. Crown
the,
Jewel should be good.
it should be. It's sweet Saudi money. They always are going to try to
It's
pull off good
it's like
shows.
WrestleMania light. It's like diet WrestleMania. Like it's baby WrestleMania, however you want to put it. It's like they want to the Saudis put as much money into this thing to be the biggest spectacle
Oh
that the
yeah.
country has.
Look
So
at how much money they just rake in from golf too. I mean, it's crazy how much
it,
money they spend on it.
yeah, soccer, dude, they spend money. They just got money to piss on over
They
it.
tried to get Messi to come over. I mean, I think he's now in Miami, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
they tried to get before Messi signed to Miami. They offered him a ton of money to play in Saudi for
And they
soccer.
settled for Ronaldo.
Oh God, they
Anyway, this isn't a soccer show. Hey,
sorry,
we had
sorry.
a little bit of a return here. You mentioned him earlier, though. Oldberg. I mean, Jesus, for the
Ugh.
love of everything holy in the world, if there is a God, I don't want him to die. I don't hate Goldberg that much. But could we get him where like he can't breathe well enough to run around in the ring where like he can walk around and like live life, but cardio, like excess cardio is out of the question. Can we get that in the works? Because I just can't see Bill Goldberg wrestle another goddamn match. I
No,
don't care how good shape he says he in. He could be jacked out of his mind. After 5 minutes, those muscles don't do nothing for you, buddy. You're going to be 50 plus years old after about 5 minutes.
not only that, but I do not want to. They planted the seats for him and Gunther. WWE,
Oh,
please
poor
don't.
Gunther.
Please don't. I do not want to see a match between him and Gunther.
It's
The
happening.
the only acceptable match, and I don't give hoot and nannies what anyone says. I want Braun Breaker versus Goldberg. When Braun eventually gets the IC title back, because he's going to get the IC title back.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I want Braun Breaker versus Goldberg to happen. That's the only match of Goldberg I will accept. I do not want to see him against Gunther. Ludwig Kaiser, you can sell me on because Kaiser's great, and I think him and Goldberg would be a nice, Goldberg smash type match. And maybe you could tease a bit of a, later on in the future, Ludwig and Gunther breaking up and maybe having a feud and saying, "You're not facing me, you're facing Ludwig for this match." Pull a fast one on Goldberg. But point is,
Hey, if he developed asthma and they were like, "Hey, Bill, you're gonna be fine, but you just can't go anymore," I'd be like, "Oh, Bill, I'm sorry, man. I hope you feel better. Maybe Gage can get in the ring one day."
dude,
I would be more interested in seeing Gage Goldberg in the ring than I want to see Bill Goldberg at this point.
dude, Gage looks great though. He
does.
looks like
He's in great shape, and I hope he does go into wrestling. Seriously, I do.
I do, but I think he's in college football right now, if I
He
remember
is,
correctly.
yeah.
Which
he
But
played for Colorado, right?
like all these assholes are going to realize they're not going to the NFL and they're going to get back in the ring. Happened to Braun Breaker, happened to Roman Reigns. It's going to happen to everybody else. It's going to happen to Shane McMahon's kid.
Jesus
Go
Christ.
Hoosiers.
Jesus, you didn't have to throw Shane McMahon's kid under there. He's okay. He's in his first year. Jesus Christ.
Hey, listen, nobody's safe from the Big Show. No, I'm just playing. It's all fun and games.
Hey, you want to know
obviously,
something funny about? I'll tell you a story about Shane McMahon's kid. He was interviewed. He was asked the question about AEW. What he thoughts about it? You want what he said? This is before the Shane McMahon rumors came. You want to know what he says about AEW? I don't watch that crap.
He ain't lying. That's tough. That's tough. And then Daddy wants to go buy it. He's like, "Hey, Dad, I was just trying to be cool,
I'm just trying to. I was just trying to make sure us McMahons are WWE supportive. I mean,
I got clicks, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's probably best to stay away from supporting, Grandpa, because he's going to need his lawyers to get prepared. But
Listen, I don't know. All I gotta say is he's lucky at this point. This is all civil stuff because he'd be in jail for a long time. And
I think he's going to jail if the government's going after him again. Because this is now a federal government investigation.
Oh, with the sex trafficking.
Yes, I think there's a real chance he goes in the Slammer. And here's another thing that isn't mentioned.
Cool.
Here's another thing that isn't mentioned. They're trying to get those FDAs voided because he used WWE company money. If WWE does this, and I doubt they will, because Amari Emanuel wasn't painted in the best light when he said, I'll welcome Vince back. Everything's all good.
Yeah, dude, he was.
If those NDAs get waived and they find out more, which I think there's a real chance that happens if the federal government is investigating, Vince is likely going to go in the Slammer. And
all I gotta say is I don't think it'll be very hard for the federal government to prove to a judge that what is hidden behind those NDAs is going to be important.
Oh my God, JC, dude, what type of drinks do you consume before you comment on the show?
He said it. He said McMahon and Diddy sharing a cell is wild.
What type of
he
drinks?
Said that as if somebody else had said that, and he was quote. That's insane. But that's probably what's going to happen. Diddy and McMahon, they're probably going to end up in the same jail cell. They're
probably
in place. But
Diddy gonna get his baby oil ready.
You all know Vince was a big baby oil guy. That's all I'm saying.
Vince loved the WBF. He got a bunch of baby oil. I'm just saying it's not
Johnson and Johnson. Big fan of the Man and Combs families.
We are horrible people for joking about this.
If you don't laugh, you'll cry, is what I've learned. Braun Breaker does go after Jey Uso. You mentioned a little bit earlier. Dude, this guy can do whatever he wants. And some people are like, oh, he lost to Jey. What's he going to do? Shut up, turd. He's going to do whatever he wants. He's a badass. You hear me? He'll do what he wants. Don't worry about Braun Breaker. He ain't worried about Braun Breaker. I get after it. I'm feeling it tonight.
I'm sorry, I had to mute myself there. I had to burst into laughter.
Listen, he's fine. He's going to be fine. People need to stop freaking out over the smallest shit online. It drives me nuts.
I know. But
Bernard, how do you feel about it? We'll
feel about what?
About Braun Breaker going after Jey Uso.
Braun Breaker going after Jey. Well, I already knew it was coming. In a way, they're gonna move off from that little feud, just like that. They look at Braun Breaker as the future. I think he's gonna get his IC title back. Then after he beats Jey Uso for the title, he's gonna go. He's gonna Raw and SmackDown. They're gonna do a trade, and that's when Jey Uso's gonna go over to SmackDown, and that's to set up that Civil War Games match at Survivor Series. Braun Breaker is a flat out stud, man. I mean, how in the hell you move? It's like I don't know where you move like that within seconds, and you just spare somebody like in a split second. I mean, oh my goodness. I think they're gonna do this match maybe in a couple of weeks, maybe, or maybe at Saudi Arabia. Who knows? And then that'd be a fun worthy match, on Crown Jewel. But other than that, hey, I'm not shocked by it.
After thinking it through, Braun should have never lost the title. I mean, I get why they did it, but like, Braun should have never lost that title. And dude, he is that great. He really is. And the way this guy moves, he goes around, bounces on the ropes. Is my goodness. I mean,
It's frightening to watch it.
He's definitely got that Scott Steiner genes without the steroid abuse. But my
Yeah,
goodness, he's great.
we need
He's
a
got to get
highlight of
that
that.
title back. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
We do need a highlight of it.
we need to highlight this doing these shows, but yeah, he's just a flat out freak. I don't know who does it quicker, either him or Goldberg in his prime in WCW.
Ooh. I would have to probably say Braun.
Wow.
I would probably have to say Braun Breaker because he moves so much faster.
He
this
can
is-
actually wrestle as well.
This is why I want to see Braun Breaker and Goldberg have a match. They just run the ropes and they do the crisscross like Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan did in the 1990 Rumble. I think that spot would be great. Man, now I want to see Goldberg and Braun Breaker at Crown Jewel now. I think that'd be fun.
It would
Hey,
be.
that might happen
It
too.
could happen. I don't know if Bill will go all the way out there. Actually, at this point, I think Goldberg would do whatever would get him back. And I'm going to be nice because if he ever sees me and wants to hurt me, I love you, Bill. Okay.
That's what I say with Haku too. That dude scares me.
Raw returned to 2 hours, and it was a breath of fresh air. It was wonderful, in my opinion. I'm dying.
Dude, no, we need you. We don't want to lose you here. You're valuable. Don't do
I caught Goldberg's asthma. I got it. That's what I get for saying bad stuff about Bill. That's karma right there, biting me. But no, yeah, Raw did go back to 2 hours. I thought it was cool. 3-hour shows are really brutal to sit through every week. I get we're going back, but it's a nice break.
I think
Yeah.
the one negative with the 2-hour Raws, way too many commercials. I don't know what they were doing on Raw. There was way too many commercials. And just because you shorten the show to 2 hours doesn't mean you have to do 5 women's tag matches. And you have to group everybody into the 2-hour show. What was that? And
That was bad.
Yeah, especially the woman's tag. Anything involving the Scooby-Doo group is bad. But that was bad. But mainly the commercials were what I was angry about, especially because we had 2 title matches on this show. The 2 title matches that should have been on the pay-per-view. But besides that, breath of fresh air. Love it. Hope they keep this on for Netflix. So we'll see.
It looks like they're going to 3 hours. But yeah, this is a quick take here, Bernard. And then there is one piece of news we do want to get into before the show ends. Little health update. Bernard, 2 hour on Raw. What do you think?
I think it's good. We need it. And I think the reason why it's 2 hours, because see, let's not forget, school's in session now. Kids need to go to bed. They need their rest and stuff. I think I like it. I like it. They should stick to this 2 hour platform going on Netflix as well.
Or what they could do is, and I like that they're doing this around the holiday season, especially with Halloween, Christmas, and Thanksgiving is approaching. Why not always have the 2 hour formats during the holidays? From October to December. Every show is 2 hours, and then they go back to the 3 hour format. I get that there's probably TV contracts or streaming contracts as to why they don't do it, but if they don't stick with the 2 hour format every show and they still do 3 hours, why not just do 2 hours from October to December? But I don't know. We'll see.
Be nice.
Also, too, in December, because in December, Triple H is giving the wrestlers 2 weeks off to spend time with their family for Christmas.
Yeah, because I think they're
that's in mind,
taping
too.
shows. I think they're taping shows at that time.
Right.
So, Professor, take it away here. We got a little unfortunate health update. You were the most informative on it and the first one to really bring it to our attention. Luchasaurus is not doing so hot.
Yeah, Luchasaurus, aka Killswitch, as he's going in an AEW, he's having a really bad health issue. Uh, I'm going to read what Brian Alvarez's report mentioned about it because this was the first I heard. Apparently, he was sick last week and like his oxygen levels were at like very dangerous low levels and he had like double pneumonia. And apparently, according to him, it could be a career-ending issue because there were some complications with what happened with Luchasaurus or Killswitch. Like he got the flu and like he needs oxygen to like, and the worst part is like he's at a high risk for a relapse with whatever health issue he had with the double pneumonia. And the fact that he needs like oxygen everywhere he's going now, and that's terrifying that you need oxygen everywhere you need to go. And after all this, if they run test after test and there's permanent damage, like there's a real chance his career may be over because like it's something not mentioned too. They also found like something with his heart valve too. Like it's like not producing iron and that's like affecting him as well badly. Like scary stuff. The more you read into what's going on with Luchasaurus and the fact he's still on oxygen, it's just scary. Being on oxygen in general is just, you're in a bad situation when you're on it.
Yeah, not great. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, not an old guy. Certainly, still had wrestling to go. I mean, he's definitely been around, but it's tough when stuff like that comes around. And obviously, it's important to remember, as much as sometimes we talk shit about these people, that they are people and they do have lives that exist outside of the ring. And that's why sometimes we do make the point to say it's not personal. We're talking about the character typically, not the person. And to the person behind, prayers to his family and him as well. This is brutal, man.
And this is bad timing too for AEW because they were like pushing him in the Christian Cage storyline too, which who knows where that goes, or maybe we have Luchasaurus appearing one last time if he's healthy enough to turn on Christian Cage, and maybe he calls it, but I don't know, man. It's scary stuff, and what we say on here, it's not going against the person in general, unless they're a real piece of trash or a malcontent like Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, there are exceptions to the rule.
There are exceptions, but with a lot of these people, like
it's just the characters.
It's just the characters.
Yeah.
And it's scary stuff what these people go through. There's injuries that these guys suffer through that I don't even know how they get back in the ring. Like in AEW, Ray Phoenix, when he had that elbow injury and his elbow was the opposite way. It's insanity what these guys go through. But yeah, with Luchasaurus, you're probably not going to hear this or watch this right now. It would be great if you did, because I think you come across as a very nice guy, and I've never heard a bad word about him, except for Bill DeMott, but that's a different story. Man, my thoughts go out to you. My prayers go out to you and your family first. A speedy recovery. And if you do call it a career, which I don't know if that's officially official, but if you do, just take care of your health, man. Like your health's more important, and you'll still be involved in pro wrestling. I guarantee you, Tony Khan will do everything to take care of you. And like,
that's the thing. Yeah.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like Jake Roberts, we haven't seen him in television for so long, but he took care of him. Brody Lee's family, he's taking care of them when he had his episode. The Briscoes. Mark Briscoe, even with Jay Briscoe, what happened again? God rest his soul. I mean, I still can't believe he's gone. Yeah. But Tony Khan will take care of you, man. So yeah, get better. If you call it a career, I understand, but just get healthy, man. I want to see you live a long life, and I hate that you're suffering. I really do.
It's tough. Bernard, last thoughts.
Yeah. Luchasaurus, I don't really too much know of him. I think I've seen him time and time, on highlights on social media and all, but it sucks to know that your favorite wrestler isn't doing too good. Brings me back when Roman Reigns had announced that he had leukemia. I said, oh shit. I said, damn. And he come back after that, after like what, 6-9 months later after he announced it. So I think if he can come back from that, Luchasaurus, I think he could come back from that, or anybody can come back from that and all. But like I said, health comes first. You're in my prayers. Just do whatever the doc tells you to do. Do what you think is right to concern your health, so that you can get back into what you do love, which is pro wrestling.
Absolutely. Listen, hey, that's going to do it for us here at Ringside Rant. As always, go make sure to follow Stadium Rant on all social media platforms. Also, follow the boys while you're on here. All our social medias are below our names right there. Go drop us a follow as well. And go check out stadiumrant.com for articles on your favorite teams, players, and leagues, and more content. And until next time, if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you. Acknowledge us.